What's up guys, I'm BTC. In addition to the Symmetra rework, the patch on the PTR has a bunch of other general changes and a massive rework for the Horizon Lunar Colony. There was a couple of interesting general changes that they made. The first one is now you have to have an SMS Protect on your account in order to be eligible for the top 500. Now, obviously, this is a very small number of people that it's going to affect, but one of the problems is you had a bunch of streamers, mostly, who would have 4 or 5 or more accounts, and then they would occupy a lot of the spaces on the top 500. So now you have to have your account hooked up to a phone number in order to be eligible for that top 500. And of course, the catch is that you can have that phone number on only one account at a time. So it's going to be possible for people to still do this and have multiple accounts in the top 500, but they're going to have to like borrow the phones of their friends or family or something in order to do it. Another thing is now you can hide your career profile. So you go into your options, you go to social, then you have this right here. It says profile visibility. Right now it's set for friends only. You can set it to public, you can set it to private. So the thing is if you set this to private, all of those websites that allow you to see all this information, they're not going to be able to get any of that anymore. And also, I'm wondering if this is actually going to make it so that when you go into, like, let's say when you go into this screen right here for the groups, when you're in a match, you normally, when you hover over someone, it's going to show you, like, their characters that they've been playing for that competitive season. And usually that's really good because you see someone, oh, this person plays a lot of Reinhardt, so I'll let them play Reinhardt and instead I'll play something else. So I wonder if that's going to cause some problems with that now, or if you're still going to be able to see at least a little bit of information, or if it's just going to completely hide it. But if you want to hide it, that is the way to do it. Next up is the Horizon Lunar Colony. They've made some pretty significant changes to the design of the map, and they also added new little bits of lore. So let's go and check it out. First of all, the attacker spawn seems to remain unchanged, although I do want to point something out right here. Specimen 8 is Hammond, Specimen 28 is Winston. Keep that in mind because it's going to come up in just a second. So this whole area seems to remain unchanged. The first time we see something new is over here. So this top area is now a little bit larger and a lot more defensible than it was before because now it has these barriers for the defenders to hide behind. Now, as far as the attacker routes, well, if you notice, when you come in over here, there's no more door right there. So the attackers can't go through there. The only way to get into this room now is from this door or this door right here. I don't think this is going to be a very good place for the attackers to go. Maybe they can fall back because there is a mega in that room. But if you're the attacking team, you really don't want to come over here because you're kind of exposing yourself quite a bit. And then you can kind of duck in here. Maybe you could heal up a little bit, I suppose. But then the defenders are basically just going to be destroying you as soon as you come out through this door. So I don't know if that's really all that good anymore. I think you're going to want to go up top or you're going to want to go to the left. Now, the new lore thing that they added to this map is this right here is Winston's room. That has been there for quite a while. But this is a new room. It is for Specimen 8. That is Hammond. You can see something very large knock the door down. And then you've got a couple of other things. You've got some tools in here. You've got some blueprints. That is Specimen 28. That is Winston, and that is his emergency pod. But there's some extra post-its on it, and you can see there's Moon to the Earth, and then a secondary pod that attaches to Winston's pod with some sort of claw. So I think it is almost certain that Hammond is on Earth as well. And then you can see how he escaped through this little chamber here because he removed the panel and somehow short-circuited the little keypad device. So let's go and check out the rest of the map though. So as you can see, you have to go up and over on here in order to get down on this side now. And as far as the other side goes, they also removed that entry point. There is a mini right here, but now you have to go up and around, and then you come out on top here. But this is likely going to be the new spot for the defenders because standing right about here, you have the little barriers. in order to protect your team, and then you can kind of like move to wherever you need to. You can go to the left if you need to, or you can just fall and drop back over here, because there is this new staircase right here that allows really easy access for the defenders to get up on top of that second area there. Then, of course, the capture point remains the same. Really, nothing has changed in there. And then for the spawn room, again, it seems to remain the same. Nothing else has changed, I don't believe. So this has always been like that. Winston's suit has always been gone. That is the human Dr. Winston, not the Winston character. And now let's move on to the next area. So you still have the mini right there. In here, they have changed the med packs a little bit. So now you have the mega on the left, and you have a mini over there. And of course, they updated the area. They added the palm trees. They now have the bananas growing. You got the potato farm basically on the ground. And the area just looks a lot better. It's a lot less empty. It doesn't change any of the game balance, of course. It just looks a lot better. And then in here, this remains pretty much the same as it was before. And then the second area, however, has been changed quite a bit. So first of all, it's actually the moon. Like, the bottom of the floor is the moon, which is kind of a neat little change there. And you can see that the rover actually goes outside now. That mini is still there. And then let's check out this side over here real fast. So this, it still has the mini right there. And then in here, the mega is still there as well. Now, I've been looking at some of the terminals and stuff, and I don't quite see anything new. It looks like everything is basically the same as it was before. So the new lore stuff was pretty much just Hammond's room, I believe. I'll double check just to make sure. But you'll notice that there is a very large area up on top over here. This has been added. Before, what used to happen is only like a Hanzo or a Widow could be able to get up there. But now pretty much anyone can. You just go up the stairs and around, and then bam, you now have upper high ground for pretty much any of your team. And then over on the other side, if your team is attacking, you come in through here. It looks like this area has been closed off just a little bit, so the doorway is a little bit smaller than it was before. And then you do still have this upper area, and then you can come out over here, and you do have a little bit more of a defensive position right here. You have kind of like the actual physical barrier, and then the stairs as well. And then this all remains pretty much the same, although there is a big opening right here and a mini right there. But the thing is, you can't go in through there anymore. That is not how you get into the spawn room. Instead, you have to go through here, and then you can come into here. And you'll notice that the healing area of the spawn room has been moved back quite a bit. One of the issues previously was that players... You're going to have to use your imagination for a second here, but players could basically stand right here inside of the healing field, and they could attack out to the sides. Now, obviously, they couldn't attack the actual capture point, but they could stand here and attack, and just they would be invincible. So that doesn't happen anymore. Now you have to go in through one of these side rooms, and you're completely vulnerable when you're in here. And then this area, obviously, you still are vulnerable, and not until you're in here do you actually get the healing. They removed that little station that was in the middle right there, and then the rest of it is pretty much the same, and you're going to spawn right here. So there is a bit more of a distance for the defenders as well, so they do have to travel quite a bit more in order to get out to here where the capture point is. And it looks like the capture point itself is just a little bit smaller than it was before. So all of that defensive advantage that they used to have, which was kind of excessive, seems to be gone. So what do you guys think about the new Horizon Lunar Colony? And do you think Hammond will be Hero 28? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.